Hey everyone, Toasted here, back again with another I will rank everything kind of video. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know we've already done this dance with Estonian games, Unreal Engine 2, Half-Life mods, and some other engines and game mods. And guess what? There are full playlists for all of these types of videos on my channel. You can see them right on the screen. Now, today's episode is a special one. We're traveling to the land of dragons, ski jumpers, and whatever the hell Hitchcock is doing here. Yes, we're ranking the top 20 best games ever made in Slovenia. Slovenia's gaming scene is small, but it's fairly mighty for a small country. You've got studios like Arxel who made half of Europe's trippiest adventure games in the late 90s. Zootfly, who spent 2000s making surprisingly fun budget shooters. And that one Prison Break game nobody finished. There's also Criterion, the team behind Mordhau, which still makes grown men cry in a voice chat. And of course Outfit 7, who made Talking Tom. Yeah, that game was made in Slovenia, can you believe it? It's the mobile game your little cousin downloaded, and somehow it's now $1 billion franchise. And iShowSpeed loves one of those games, the dog one, Big Ben. Now, before you ask, yes, we'll mention Talking Tom and that whole Outfit 7 empire in honorable mentions. But this ranking focuses on the actual games, the stuff you can lose hours in. Not just poke in the face until it repeats what you say. As for how I ranked everything, as always, it's mostly my personal opinion, but I also sprinkled in user and critic scores to make it a little more democratic. So if your favorite game ended up lower than you expected, just remember, this isn't IGN and I'm not afraid to call a bad game a bad game. And hey, if you like these types of videos, you can join my channel right now for 1 week early access to all my future rankings and other similar type of videos. Everyone who joins also gets priority on video suggestions, and your name will show up at the end of each video. Because honestly, without you guys, I'd probably be ranking Toaster brand instead of games right now. We've also got a Discord community, links in the description. And speaking of links, if you buy games through my GameEvo affiliate link down below, you'll also support the channel. And with code TOASTEDGAMING, you get 3% of your card on GameEvo.com. So you save money, I buy more of the stuff that you don't need to know about. Everybody wins. Alright, so let's stop talking and start ranking. This is the top 20 best games ever made in Slovenia. And trust me, this list has everything. Masterpieces, memes, and games so broken they should come with a made in Windows 98 warning label. Now, like I said, before we jump into the top 20, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. Or, well, the cat on your phone. Outfit 7 is a Slovenian founded studio that blew up worldwide with Talking Tom and Friends. Their breakout was Talking Tom Cat in 2010, and from there it became a full-blown universe. Games, toys, and even an animated series. We're talking about billions of downloads across the franchise. The brand is everywhere. Your niece, your nephew, your grandma's mystery apps folder. It's all Tom. Now, why aren't these in the ranking? Because we're focusing this video on traditional gamey games. Stuff with real progression, mechanics, challenge, the usual suspects. Plus, if I included this Outfit 7 game kind of things, they would take like half of the list. And nah, I prefer variety. Also, I never played any of them. Massive impact? Absolutely, but to keep the list fair and interesting for core gamers, we're saluting them here instead of slotting them into the top 20. So yeah, whether you love them, fear them, or accidentally spend 3 hours making a digital cat repeat swear words, Outfit 7 put Slovenia on the global map in a way very few studios ever do. So I respect it. But we're not gonna talk about this ever again. And now for real, let's get to the top 20 best games made in Slovenia. The ones you can actually lose a weekend to. A downloadable 4-player co-op shooter developed by Zootfly and published by Ubisoft, tie in with a movie. It dropped on PS3, Xbox 360 and PC as a prequel. You run and gun through short missions as the squad, hop on turrets, blow up trucks, the whole protein powder fantasy. The problem? It feels like an extended trailer that forgot to become a full game. Repetitive encounters, clumsy AI, and a campaign you can finish between dinner and dessert. Still, it's a neat bit of Slovenian dev history. A small studio landing a big Hollywood license and shipping to all 3 platforms. Not great, but also not unplayable. Just the kind of €7 curiosity you buy in a sale and retire after one loud evening. Arxel Tribe's sequel to The Ring, The Legend of a Nibelungen. It sticks with Wagner-inspired myth and the studio's trademark pre-rendered first-person point-and-click format on PC. The art direction is pretty nice. It has moody panoramas, operatic tone, but by 2002 the formula was creaking. Navigation is node-based, puzzles swing from clever to where did you even get that logic? And the place is pure sedative. It's not a disaster, it's a curiosity. A lavishly dressed adventure that arrived just as the genre was pivoting away from static screens toward fully 3D worlds. If you're into late 90s adventure vibes, it's a time capsule. But if you're not, it's a museum grade. Look, don't touch. Another Arxel Tribe historical adventure, and the first part of a 2-game story that continues in the Secrets of Alamût. It's a third-person 360 panorama point-and-click, set in the 12th century Middle East. Lots of dialogue, inventory puzzling, and those classic spin around the beautiful pre-rendered courtyard moments. Strengths, well, it's, atmosphere, world building, and a genuinely uncommon setting for the time. But with weaknesses like stiff pacing and puzzles that require psychic powers. In some regions it was later bundled with its sequel as a single package, which is probably the ideal way to play it. One long historical journey instead of 2 shorter, uneven chunks. Flawed, but ambitious, and important to the studio's legacy. A loud, arcade twin-stick shooter from Zootfly. Published by Deep Silver and released for PC, PS3 and Xbox 360. It's pure 80s action cheese. Explode everything, upgrade guns, and blast through arenas solo or in co-op. On the plus side, it's instantly pick up and play, with chunky feedback and a few fun set pieces. But on the minus side, it's shallow, levels blur together, enemy variety is thin, and once you've seen one warehouse, you've basically seen the campaign. Reviews landed in the mixed to negative zone, and it eventually got delisted. But as a Friday night couch shooter, it's perfectly fine. Not memorable, not miserable, just aggressively okay with a big dumb grin. Arxel Tribe's historical adventure follow-up to Pompeii drops you into Jerusalem in 1552 as cartographer Adrian Blake, still hunting for his missing fiancée. It's a first-person, node-based 360 point-and-click built with the help of Réunion des Muses Nationaux. I can't read French words, so whatever. Which is why the architecture and period details feel like a museum exhibit you can poke. The pacing is leisurely and the puzzles can meander, but if you like atmospheric, historically grounded adventures, it's a vibe. Incense, stone, and political intrigue at the crossroads of three religions. It's also explicitly a sequel to Pompeii, also known as TimeScape, so the story continuity pays off if you play both. Not a crowd pleaser, but a very Arxel time capsule. Before Jerusalem, there was Pompeii in 79 AD, 4 days before the volcano pops. You play as Adrian Blake, again, this time racing against the clock through a first-person panoramic adventure with that signature Arxel look. Pre-rendered vistas, hushed voiceovers, inventory puzzles, and a slow burn of dread, because you know exactly how this ends. It was developed by Arxel Tribe and published by Cryo Interactive, and in North America it shipped under the TimeScape title. The game's strengths are mood and setting, and its weaknesses are some moon logic steps that will have you clicking every pixel like a crazy archaeologist. Still, as a historical adventure, it's one of Slovenia's more distinctive exports from the era. A fully licensed tie-in from Zootfly and Deep Silver for PC, PS3 and Xbox 360. This one retells Season 1 from a new angle. You're Tom Paxton, a company plant embedded at Fox River, sneaking, climbing, and occasionally punching through a parallel version of a TV plot. Mechanically, it's a stealth action hybrid with light brawling. Serviceable, a bit stiff, and very 2010 mid-budget. The cool part is the fan service and the alternate perspective narrative. The less cool part is the repetition and forgettable level design. Reviews landed mixed to negative, but as a Slovenian console project with a big license, it's a notable swing that shipped across all main platforms. Penis, masks, intrigue, and Casanova himself, starring in an Arxel Tribe adventure published by Vanadu Edition on Windows. It's an unusual hybrid, third-person movement with an adventure backbone, light action, yeah, it has crossbow moments, and a genuinely on-brand seduction interface that lets you charm your way through parts of the plot. Production values were ambitious for Arxel, it had lavish art and period styling, but the tech and puzzle design lag behind 2001's best. Still, it's a unique cultural swing, a Slovenian team doing an Enlightenment-era romance thriller with cheeky mechanics. For collectors of odd, stylish Euro adventures, this one's catnip. For everyone else, it's a fascinating near miss. Arxel Tribe teamed up with 4X Technologies and Visual Impact on this historical adventure that sent Secret Service agent Morgane Sinclair through time to stop the Satan Skis plot. With major sequences set in the Louvre Museum. It's a classic late 90s, early 2000s design. First-person exploration, panoramic nodes, puzzle gating, and a surprisingly dense story. Originally released on Windows, Mac and PlayStation with a later iOS port, this game was ambitious, a bit stiff, but undeniably distinctive. The kind of game that makes you feel smarter just for installing it. Direct sequel to The Legend of the Prophet and the Assassin. This Arxel Tribe follow-up sticks with the first-person 360 panoramic adventure formula on Windows and pushes you deeper into the assassin stronghold at Alamût. Expect ornate pre-rendered backdrops, methodical pacing, and puzzles that ping-pong between elegant and why did I click every brick in this wall? Historically flavored and very much of its time. In North America, Dreamcatcher later bundled both games together under the Prophet and the Assassin title as Part 1 and Part 2. The best way to experience the whole arc in one shot. A stylish swing from Axel Tribe that borrows Hitchcock's grammar, like suspense setups, voyeur shots, and FMV interludes, and wraps it in an action-adventure detective structure on PC. Published by Vanadu Edition in Europe and Ubisoft in North America, it pairs 3D characters over 2D sets with investigation, iteming, and the occasional awkward chase. Reviews came back mixed, both concept and even execution. Still, for students of cinematic adventure design, it's a fascinating relic. You can feel the team trying to translate film language into gameplay at a time when the genre was in a flux. A standalone expansion to Panzer Elite Action, Fields of Glory, built by Zootfly and released on Windows. This one shifts the fight to North Africa, adding 2 new campaigns, German and Allied, plus a suite of multiplayer maps and modes, including large lobbies. It's very much arcade tank action rather than a hardcore sim. Quick target acquisition, big explosions, and battlefield spectacle over rivet counting. It's the most pick up and play entry in the Panzer Elite family and an easy recommendation if you want World War II armor without a manual thicker than a phone book. Axel Tribe's debut swings for the fences, a historical point-and-click loosely based on Paulo Coelho's The Pilgrimage, with concept art by Moebius. It's pure late 90s Euro adventure energy, pre-rendered vistas, encyclopedia tidbits, and puzzles that occasionally feel like a theology exam. Under the hood, it laid tech and stylistic groundwork Axel reused on later projects. Is it clunky today? Absolutely. But it's also distinctive, and as a debut, it's bold, weird, and very Slovenian. We got literary roots, art house ambition, production scrappiness. So if you want to understand where the Axel Museum exhibit you can click vibe began, this is Exhibit A, PC only, published by Infogrames. Opera meets sci-fi fever dream. Axel Tribe adapts Wagner's Ring cycle into a surreal first-person adventure for Windows and Mac. The hook isn't just the license, it's the Philippe Druillet art direction, and a soundtrack stitched from legendary Vienna Philharmonic recordings. It's grand, strange, unforgettable. You'll swap between characters, sweep through 360 panoramas, and solve puzzles that range from elegant to ask Erda for a walkthrough. Published by Cryo Interactive in Europe and Red Orb in North America, it sold well and gave Axel its international breakthrough. It's not modern slick, but as a time capsule of late 90s ambition, it completely rules. Axel Tribe's most art film adventure. Released as Faust in Europe and 7 Games of the Soul in North America, it's a moody, episodic, adult-leaning story riffing on Goethe's Faust. All smoky jazz clubs, moral bargains, and haunted Americana. It goes heavy on atmosphere and theme over hand-holding. The result is divisive, but for many, it's the studio's creative peak. Mechanically, it's classic first-person adventure fare. Spiritually, it's closer to an interactive anthology series than a puzzle box. If Ring was Arxel's big swing, Faust is their weird, soulful curveball that stuck the landing. In my opinion, Arxel Tribe's best game. From opera to overkill, Zootfly's B-movie hack and slash is a love letter to God of War style chaos, with a knowingly camp tone. You're a chain-sight wielding smoke jumper resurrected by a snarky Mayan mask. You get great set pieces, big enemy waves, and one-liners for days. It's not trying to be subtle, it wants only to be fun. Crucially, it's a rare Slovenian action game that feels good moment to moment. It has responsive combat, chunky feedback, and breezy pacing. It was published by 505 Games. It launched on Xbox 360 and PC in 2013. So if you want pure popcorn after a dozen cerebral adventures, this is your palate cleanser, and a cult favorite for a good reason. Zootfly's World War II tank game is the opposite of a dusty sim. It's fast, arcadey armor warfare with big explosions and bite-sized missions. You command platoons through Tunisia, Italy, and Normandy, swapping realism charts for immediate fun. It launched exclusively in Europe in 2006, published by Jovo on PC, PS2 and Xbox. It even spawned the standalone expansion Dunes of War a year later. We talked about it just recently. It's not subtle, but it's the most Friday night fun Zootfly ever shipped, and a solid time capsule of mid-2000s Euro action design. A modern point-and-click made in Slovenia by Motivity, and proof the classic adventure vibe still works in 2025. It launched on April 2nd, 2025 for PC, Mac and Linux on Steam. Motivity even self-published it, with them even noting that console versions are planned. So, in this game you play as Elroy, a rocket engineer, and Peggy, an investigative reporter, on a colorful sci-fi road trip to find Elroy's long-lost father. In this game you can expect witty writing, approachable puzzles, and warm art direction instead of moon logic torture. If you grew up on 90s adventures, this feels like the genre finally remembered how to smile again. The viral one, created in September 2006 by Slovenian student Boštjan Čadež. Line Rider dropped online and the internet basically stopped doing homework for a year. It's a minimalist physics toy. Draw a track, hit play, watch the sledder eat it, or create art. It spread from DeviantArt to everywhere, helped define the early YouTube era of impossible tracks, and later got official DS and V releases. But the original browser Flash version is the cultural supernova. Few games from any country are this simple, this elegant, and this influential. Triternion's medieval multiplayer epic is Slovenia's crown jewel. Released on PC in 2019, with PlayStation and Xbox versions following in 2023, it nails first-person melee in a way most games only dream about. It has feints, morphs, chambers, archery, siege engines, horses, the whole blood-soaked playground. It began as a 2017 Kickstarter that raised nearly 300,000, then exploded because the combat has real depth and the community keeps coming back for more chaos. It's skill-based, brutal, and endlessly clip-worthy. Exactly what a number one should be. And that's it. The top 20 best games made in Slovenia. From philosophical point-and clicks and tank rampages to the global meme factory, that is Line Rider, and also the blood-soaked glory of Mordhau. It's safe to say Slovenia has games that world needs to know about. And if you enjoyed the video, you already know the drill. Hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and tell me which games you would move up or down the list. I read pretty much all your comments, even the ones calling me crazy for putting your childhood favorite too low. Hey, passionate gamers make the best audience. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and join the channel to get 1 week early access to my future videos, priority on what I rank next, and of course, your name in the credits among the amazing supporters who make these insane projects possible. Seriously, without you this channel would just be me yelling at the screen with only like one person per week watching, and that would be me. There's also a link to my Discord channel in the description below. I've also got a lot more coming soon. More country rankings, more engine deep dives, more obscure games put in a spotlight. So if there is a topic, an engine, or even a weird old game you want to see ranked, reviewed, or done something to, leave your suggestions in the comments. The best ones might just end up in the next video. Oh, and before you go, if you buy games through my GameMivo affiliate link, it's in the description and also in the pinned comment, you'll be supporting the channel. And also while using that link, you can use code ToastedGaming and you'll get 3% off everything on GameMivo.com. So you save money, I get money, and the circle of gaming life continues. So thanks for watching. I'm Toasted, this was top 20 best games made in Slovenia, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep your swords sharp, your sleds fast, your